Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of All the Mods to the Sky. And I thought let's start out this episode by just showing this little contraption I made. It's not much, it's just for making dirt. As you can see in this barrel, we have 354 dirt. We only need to input things that can be composted. I'm using potatoes because it's pretty easy to farm them. We just spam our crouch button and just, pick these up with right click, and we don't need to plant them. They just harvest the crop and they kind of auto plant, I guess you could say. And we put them in here. They compost in these barrels and we get dirt. And why do we need dirt is there is this quest. Oh, also, before I get into the quest, there's quite a few of these checkmark quests, which just kind of give you an introduction, a general introduction into what this section is about. So I just quickly completed these. I just wanted to see what kind of power we can still use. But I guess lava is best for now. But the quest is this slime ball quest. To get a slime block, we need mushrooms. And last time, or a couple episodes ago, we tried to get a mushroom, but it requires some luck to get it. So I have been sifting some dirt to get these. What is it? Ancient? No, mycelium seeds that get put into witch water, and we get brown mushroom blocks. And now we can break these and try to get a mushroom. And we got a couple. Awesome. And I think if we put one in here, we get a slime block. And this should complete the quest. Yeah, and we get extra slime balls. I'm not sure where we'll use them currently, but we got the quest done at least. Well, what's the plan for today? I think it's just continuing on with the quests. We have quite a few simple quests that still need to be completed, like storing our power, which is just a basic power cell, as well as starting with more mechanism machines. This will improve our lives immensely with a mechanism in general. And I think the end goal is to set up some sort of automated system for sifting materials so we don't have to do it manually. Of course, we haven't still completed the first getting started questline with these meshes, but we can make them and we will. We just need to set up even more power, I think, because these machines require power and we have quite a few upgrades we can give them with this quest line over here, the gold upgrade, and it's going to use quite a bit of more power. As you can see here, it says RF per tick. That's so 64. So that means if we upgrade it with the gold upgrades, a single one of these magmatic dynamos can't keep up with the machine. Firstly, let's make the enrichment chamber. It's a machine we can't live without. It's as high priority as the metallurgical infuser, as I said before. But this one is a bit more difficult because we need steel. And we can get steel from the said machine. We need the metallurgic infuser, which doesn't show up here because, we need the dust first, right? So we need the dust. And to get dust, we put it in the metallurgic infuser. You can also use the hammer, but it is kind of inefficient because you need a lot of coal for that. So I can show you how we get some steel. We just load it up with coal, which is carbon, and we put in our iron ingot. This machine is slow, but of course we will improve it further on as we play. First, it gives us the enriched iron, and after that we put it in again with coal again. And now we should be able to get steel dust. Then we smelt this steel dust down and we get a steel ingot. Just to make my life easier, I made some steel ingots in advance because it takes quite a bit of time to make them because, as you saw, the machines are slow. And as well, this unlocks some quest lines in the mechanism, so that's where I got some of the random rewards, like the advanced control circuit, which is just, recipe simple, as well as I got these pipe upgrades from other quest lines. It's kind of a mix, and you need to look through them at first because there's a lot of like overlapping quests. Yeah. So to make the enrichment chamber, we need steel casings, some osmium, as everything in mechanism needs osmium. We make steel casing. Actually, let's maybe do a couple because we'll need these for other machines as well. And we need everything else, which I didn't grab. I wasn't well prepared. What else was it? A control circuit, and we only have one. We make our enrichment chamber. We complete a couple of quests actually. We pluck it down, and now, uh, what's so great about it is we can put in one redstone piece. And this is one. This machine is also slow, but we will be able to do up to. It is 8 iron ingots with just one redstone piece. We don't need 8. You know, it's not 1 to 1, but it's 1 to 8. And as well, now that we have steel, we can make the energy cube, which will provide us with some basic energy storage. So if we maybe move these machines and put the cell over here, it starts filling up with power. As you can see, it's all going down, and this one is empty as well. But this one is this energy cube is storing quite a bit of power. We can extend these cables and plug in the machines like so, and they should be getting power if we configure this cube right. There is sometimes some configuration with inputs and outputs, but this should be output, so it's the right side. And alright, the only, I guess, not so great thing about these pipes is that you need to configure them every time. Now this should be working. Yep, it's full with power. With the machine set up, just one more thing I wanted to show you before we generate more power is the superheating element actually, and how overpowered it is. So this, as I said before, it generates or smelts or heats with 4 power or whatever you want to call it. It does 4 millibuckets. I'm just going to break this and put down the superheating element. And it isn't powered or anything, it's just a block. And if we check the efficiency, it does 60 millibuckets per tick. And that means we generate so much lava, I don't think we will be able to spend it all. So this machine is now constantly full, and the crucible itself is also full. Well, it's about to be full. Now we have everything to set up some proper early game power generation. And it is done. Pretty quick, isn't it? Uh, all I did really is build a couple of more of these, or craft a couple of more of these superheating elements as well as crucibles. And I made 9 in total of these magmatic dynamos. Each of these produces 40 RF per tick. I connected all of them up. I also made these universal cables, and the reason is, if we check our chest, they're pretty cheap. I just needed some steel, and they transfer a lot more power in comparison to the energy pipes, and they don't need any upgrades because this is the first tier, and we can upgrade them to the, what is it, ultimate universal cables, which are going to transfer enough power for the rest of our playthrough of this mod pack probably. But the main reason why I switched is because they're easier to set up. We don't need to put inputs and outputs separately with a wrench. They just attach to any machine they can, and they start pumping power in any direction you need. Yep, and this is where we're going to be putting the machines. Currently, we only have 2. Oh, I got some steel being made, but yeah. Currently, this is the setup we have. Not much going on. Later on, we'll expand it. We definitely have enough power to start thinking of making a automated sieving and hammering station, and with some upgrades as well, because upgrades are quite important to get us started. Otherwise, the machines are relatively slow, and well, we don't want to wait for too long to get more resources. But we still need to complete a couple more quests because we need a way to process our resources we get, and probably the easiest way is just upgrading our furnaces or a furnace, because these furnaces have separate upgrades, and you'll see in just a couple of minutes that these furnaces can be really efficient, and they can be converted into factories that only use power, and we don't need to waste our coal anymore. But first we need to make a pulverizer. I'm not sure if you're going to use a pulverizer or an enrichment chamber because, well, they're kind of slow, and if we can't afford the upgrades, or if still with the upgrades they're slow, we'll just use furnaces. So let's make a polarizer. I'll also show you how it works. I did gather everything already. If we leave it maybe over here, let's not connect them. It uses only 20 RF per tick, but if I'm not mistaken, it's pretty slow. If we put ores in here, the quests also give us some extra raw materials, which we can use. And we'll see that it gives us 2 iron dust and 1 nickel, so that's a chance drop. But it's very slow, and when we set up our sieving stations, it's going to be way faster, and it's probably going to be easier just to pump it into furnaces. Also, here's a quest how to set up the automated ore smelting and pulverizing, but we're not going to use that because it's kind of slow and we want it to be fast. We want the system to be fast so we can generate a lot of resources. I think these these are just checkmark quests. We can do a claim all because I have completed a few quests along the line. Some of them are the same thing, just in a different section, like the enrichment chamber in mechanism and the enrichment chamber in getting started part 2. So that's why we have completed quite a few quests by just playing the game. We can just take a look what we have. Alfred, GG, and a pedestal. Sure, let's do that. Let's just leave it over there. Let's also make the furnace. So we just need some gold. We need to pick up one of these existing furnaces. This one is a bit more expensive because it needs a gold block. But if we complete the quest, we get one back. So let's do a golden furnace. It's only 160 to 120, but it's still a lot more efficient. But the big thing is that I wanted to show you, and for some reason there isn't a quest for that. You can upgrade it into a blast furnace or you can give it some efficiency upgrades. But the one I find to be the most useful is the factory upgrade, and I'll show you why. So if we place it down, we see there's one slot as usual. But if we add the augments and the upgrade, we can now see it has 4 slots and an RF bar. So we can actually put it maybe next to our energy cable and add the upgrade. Oh, yep, like so. It fills up. And now we can do all of these items at once. Look at that. Well, we should be able to get 4 stone out of this. It's way more efficient. So, and it's just 1 block. I think this should be a quest, but there isn't. We could also do wireless power, but I mean, we don't have the luxury right now, and we don't really care. This is quite alright. We have power, we have processing. All we need now is storage. Well, and of course, the actual machines, but those are pretty simple to make and set up. We need a place to store all of our resources we'll get. And you might think, there's quite a few chests, and we can pump cables into chests. But I think the best way is to set up a small, like a wall of drawers, not barrels. There is a different kind of drawer if we make some more chests and split these like, so. Oh, we need some planks. Should have prepared. We do this, and we get oak drawers that are 2 by 2, and we can store 4 items. It is 4 times less than a single barrel, but it is 4 slots in a single block, and because we can upgrade these drawers, it's not much of an issue. But the main thing is, if we look at our quest line for basic storage and the functional storage, there is a thing called a storage controller, and it also says on the bottom there, the brain of our drawers. This is a bit more expensive, but we can use this as our main block to store and use everything in our storage system that we'll make. The only thing that we don't have currently is quartz, and that's why we need the soul sand. And I made some more, because when we sift soul sand, it is a bit inefficient to do it on these iron bars, but when we sift it, we get quartz. And that should be enough. I shouldn't have actually done all of it. I should plan this out a little bit more, but nevertheless, this is the idea. We have our controller, and we place it down, and we use this linking tool. I already right-clicked before, but you right-click it with your tool, and you can add drawers that you have placed down. I'm not sure if they need to be connected, maybe not, but I like to do it this way because it looks a bit cleaner. Well, it doesn't really clean with this gap and whatnot. But this stores 40 items, and now we can just pump items into here with a pipe. Or if I want to demonstrate, maybe we do half in this slot, and when we right click the controller, it puts items in automatically, and we don't need to do the specific drawer. And that's where we're going to store all of the resources we get from sifting, and not just sifting, also the ones we process in our furnace. Now it's just time to make the actual contraption. The quest also gives us a couple of upgrades. We don't really know where to use them right now. Maybe let's upgrade some more cobblestone production. We can do, we can have 21 million cobblestone. Awesome. Maybe one day we'll fill that up. I gathered everything we need to make our sieve, as well as our hammer. It's pretty cheap. I mean, we already have quite a bit of iron now. Oh, I did use a used hammer, which is nice. I guess I saved some durability on that. But now we can set it up with some power just to see how these work. So if you place it next to the cable and this one to this one, we can see it's filling up with a progress bar with power and missing inventory on output side. So which would be the output side? I would guess because it's sifting, the output side would be under it. Just to test this, we can place a out of energy. Okay, let me just quickly test this. So for testing purposes, I want to show you a quick run through of this, how this system will work. So we have our input chest at the top, which will be our cobblestone later on, but we can do a couple pieces just to show how this works. It should take them in. It does because it has a built-in hopper on it. So it takes some time to process. It goes in this chest automatically. We do need a cable to pump items from this chest into the sieve, and the sieve also does the same, and any results should go in the chest, and they do. We can upgrade our mesh while we're here, because, well, it doesn't work without a mesh, first of all, and secondly, we get better drops when we upgrade our mesh, and this way we will also complete a couple of our quests just to, uh, get the completionism out of the way. And we do our emerald mesh. The next one is netherite, but we can't get that just yet. And this way we also get a couple more drops, I think. Pretty simple. I'm going to make this system a bit more advanced, and then I'll probably do a run through just to show you how all of it works. Well, after some time, I have finally finished this little monstrosity. Have to be honest, it took a lot longer than expected because the piping, it doesn't really work as I expected. Uh, and I need some extra resources even to finish this. So let me just give you a quick run through. I made a separate cobblestone generator because I didn't want to do like piping all along the sky. So I just put it over here, the second one. It pumps cobblestone into this barrel. This barrel then pumps it into this hammer. Pretty simple. Also, all of these need power, of course. Then this hammer pumps it into this chest. Then this chest pumps it into the sieve, and you can see the sieve working. As well as we can see, oh wait, we can't see, but these resources go into the chest from the sieve, and then they get split off. And this is where I had the difficulty with these pipes. So I had to make these advanced upgrades, which are not cheap, but I did have the resources. And we set up a couple of filters. One of these filters the pieces, and the other one filters the rest. The confusion was when I didn't set up, if I wanted to use a single pipe to filter everything, it didn't really work, even though I had a filter with a destination even set to this compactor. Everything else besides, well, I guess it makes sense, but it's a bit difficult to set these pipes up, and I don't like that I have to do all of these items separately. I would like there to be a way to, maybe I'm just dumb. I would like there to be a way for me to just filter these pieces, and then everything else can go to the other direction. But that doesn't matter right now. With a single pipe as well. But then everything goes into this compactor. I need to improve the speed of this compactor as well, and that's what we're going to do. It goes into the chest. The furnace takes everything out from the chest and then pumps it into the system. And everything that doesn't go into the furnace goes into the system as well. This is what we currently have. We got a few diamonds already, got some iron and gold, and it's working pretty efficiently with 0 upgrades on these things. So I thought maybe let's make a few upgrades and see how we will do on power and how much faster everything will be. So I have gathered the resources already. I just need to autocomplete. We'll do 5, I think. We'll do 2 in the what are these called? 2 in the hammer, or yeah, and 2 in the sieve, and 1 in the compactor, and hopefully the compactor can keep up. If it can't, we'll make another one. But now it does 2 items at a time. Actually, it already looks like it won't be able to keep up. But we can take a look at our hammer. It will do 4 gravel at a time, and then the sieve can do 4 gravel at a time. If we take a look at the chest down here, we'll see it fill up, or maybe it's, yeah, it empties instantly. But now the furnace is going to be full all the time, probably. And as well as we get a lot more resources. We have 14 diamonds already, so we got 4 in the last minute or so. And as I suspected, we are already having power issues. Even though we have 9 of these magmatic dynamos, they're constantly working and producing energy. It still can't really keep up with the furnace specifically, because we did put in a speed upgrade so the furnace can keep up with the compactor. But yeah, that's giving us some power issues unless I get the coal generator up and running. But again, that's not a long-term solution. And maybe you already saw that I had some bookmarks here with reactor items, blocks. We need these reactor casings mainly, and to make all the different items. And to make these casings, we need uranium. Graphite we can get from smelting coal, but uranium we can get from sifting sand. And ideally, we sift sand on a diamond mesh because that gives us an extra 10% chance at an extra drop, which is quite a significant difference. So that means we need to wait for a few more diamonds, probably, upgrade our current meshes, do a bit of grinding, and then we can start looking into creating a reactor, and we can tear all of this monstrosity down and have us a more efficient way of generating power. We can also quickly take a look at the quest line. These are the items we require to make the smallest reactor you can, which is a 3x3x3. But we're probably going to go for a 5x5, just because it's going to be more efficient and generate us quite a bit more power to potentially even give these the next tier of upgrades, so we have even more resources. Our main focus currently is to get even more resources. Quick side quest I thought we could also do is getting a jetpack. It only needs bronze, and we have access to bronze because we have copper and tin. So I already made some bronze. I gathered hopefully everything. We got the leather from killing the llamas, I think, yeah, from the trader who spawns once in a while, because they're kind of annoying. So I just killed them. Oh, actually, you might not have enough redstone. Hold on. So we need 5 batteries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We also need furnaces, which I did not prepare. So let's make a few of those. And I think that should be it. So we need 2 thrusters, a capacitor, and the jetpack itself. Awesome. So cool. We have everything. We can complete the quest. It gives us some XP. We can fill it up, spend even more of our precious energy, and we can put it on. I would say it looks pretty stylish, right? Well, how does it work? You can see on the left here we have an E and an H. The E is for the E is for engine, toggled engine. So if it's on, we can actually fly. And if we toggle on hover mode, we hover. It's pretty self-explanatory, but because this is a low tier one, we fall kind of quickly with the hover mode. But in this case, we don't have to hold or spam space to stay afloat, kind of. And we can place blocks under here, for example. or, do anything we need. You can also see it runs out of power pretty quickly, so it has quite a few tiers. We can't get it just yet because we don't have enough iron, but eventually we'll go up to what is the highest Enderium, right? Not sure if that's actually the highest if you look at the jetpacks. Oh, it is. Never mind. So it is the highest tier. But that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. I'm going to keep grinding for some resources for the next episode so we can start setting up a reactor and maybe we'll look into going into a different dimension or just go to another. But that's it for today. Bye bye.